Hey, happy Saturday, everybody. It's Dr. B here, and it has been a minute, but I've had quite a few people ask me when coffee talks were coming back. And let me just start off with today's edition of Coffee Talk. This is iced coffee, and I'm having that post exercise. A buddy and I did a 14-mile hike today, and so we started at 5 a.m., so there was no recording when it was dark. There's a couple of different things that I want to get into, but number one, I apologize for not getting something to you this week. We have been so blessed in helping so many people all across this great country with their health. And so, one thing that you'll learn about business is time is of the essence. So, when you meet people and they are ready to make a shift, we need to meet them where they're at and we need to get into action so that they don't lose that momentum. So, I will get better at this and I will, like I said, my goal is to always be true and authentic and it's not to be scripted. So, I do these at different times of the day when I have a specific thought. So, I will I talked to you guys a couple of weeks ago about Purity Coffee. And so this is the brand of coffee that we use. This is my next shipment. So this is a 5 pound bag. And so they sell it in 5 pound bags. They guarantee that it's mold free, that um, it's organic, but there's no mold and there's no fungal stuff. So it's a really, really good brand. Another one that you can check out on Amazon is the Paleo Cardiologist, Cardiology Coffee by Jack Wolfson. A great, great brand as well. Meets the same criteria. That one is just a little strong for my taste, so I like something a little bit milder. But both are really, really good brands. I have no skin in the game. I just want you, if you're going to consume coffee, to make it a good one. So today's thought and today's coffee talk, let's see if I can adjust this. Hey, that's a little bit better. Now I'm not so washed out. So today's coffee talk is about a concept, and I wrote this down, is that the world is changed by your example and not by your opinion. Okay? Now we could take this so many different ways because the world is changed by your example and not your opinion. If you heard a lot of things like the people that complain the most are the ones that do the least, and 90% of the production comes from 10% of the people, all of those different things, right? Henry Ford, I think he said, I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And I think that was him, but if not, that's a great quote. But parents, moms and dads, mamas and daddies, if you're in the South, papas, omas, opas, I am talking to you. Now, as we help a lot of families throughout this great country and even in our community, one thing that always really baffles my mind is when a parent shows up and they say, hey, can you help little Johnny? Can you help my daughter? Can you help my son? They're going to have some health challenges. They're headed towards obesity. They're pre-diabetic or they're even they're even been typed as diabetic. And it baffles my mind that the parents want somebody else to do the work for them because they're not modeling the behavior. Now, what I will tell you, and I will be the first one to tell you, I don't have children. God didn't bless me that way. And so I don't have children. I take care of a lot of kids. I am around a lot of kids. And I think I would have been a good father. However, it just wasn't in the cards at the moment. And so but when I talk about this and when we talk about taking care of kids, one thing I've learned is that kids may not listen to you, but they will emulate your behavior. So that's how, where did we hear that word? Kids say swear words because parents say swear words, and kids do this behavior because parents do this behavior. And I was the same way as a kid. I got in trouble because I would do things I saw my brother do, or I would do things that I saw my friends do. And so it got me some spankings and it got me some time out and some of those things. But when it comes to nutrition, one thing I would tell you is that it's really, really important as a parent that if you recognize your child has a problem, that means you have a problem as well. All right. That means you are the one that does the shopping. You are the nutritional gatekeeper. And to think that you can have some stranger come alongside of your child and teach them how to take care of themselves while you're not learning how to take care of yourselves, it does not happen. Okay? People want it to, parents want it to, but it does not happen. Our most successful stories when it comes to children are families that get engaged, that make better choices together. Now, if you guys have heard me tell my story, I turned the first two parts of it kind of up through high school, and I will get back to that on Coffee Talk. But my parents went through a divorce when I was 8 years old. My mom moved away, and I stayed with my dad, and I ate a lot of crap packaged foods. And I put on a lot of weight as a kid. It ended up really, really costing me a lot of time because I had to figure out how to take care of myself. And there's still not a day that goes by that every choice that I make, I have to make a conscious choice, because my body does not like sugar. My brain does, but my body does not. And so if I eat a lot of sugar, I will stack on the pounds, and I will do it quickly. And so my point of this post, and before it gets too long, is to tell you, take inventory of where you're at. You've heard me say that if it's not something that you're born with, then there's got to be a good chance that it's something that we've done to ourselves. And if your kid has an autoimmune problem, if your kid has, things like allergies and things like breathing problems, and your kid has a weight challenge, and your kid has a problem that they weren't born with, then there's a very good chance that it's something that has to do with their lifestyle. And that's not placing blame, that's just stating a fact. In all of these cases, one common denominator that I noticed are complex carbohydrates, and that's, things like bread and crackers and pancakes and cookies and chips and all of those things. And so the way we coach and the way we talk to people is getting back to eating the foods that God created in their original form, and trying to steer clear of things that come out of a box, a bag, or a drive-through window. And I can promise you, and this is your free health tip for the day, is that if you will just do those things and eat the food that God created in its natural form, you will notice that 99.9% of the health challenges miraculously will go away. But we're addicted to sugar. And so we want what we want. Adults want to drink it, children want to eat it. And so it is a problem, and it's what we deal with every single day. So that is Coffee Talk for today. And remember, when I started this, I said, parents, this one's for you. So if you're rewarding your child with sugar in the form of French fries, and in the form of candy, and in the form of ice cream, it's going to come back to cause some challenges, either with health problems or with behavioral issues. And if you need somebody that can help you sort that out before it turns into a full-blown problem, I am your guy, Dr. B at the Wellness Progression. All right? Make it a great day. Be blessed. See you guys soon.